Hello, and a hugely warm welcome to our Pilgrim Harps Open Day 2020. My name is Jerry Blumeyer, and I'm standing where I usually spend a lot of my time at one of our open days, only I'd normally be inside a large marquee with a stage here beside me and a wonderful mix of new faces and old friends looking back at me. However, I am delighted to say we do still have a truly wonderful lineup of harpists all set and ready to entertain us today. Plus lots of harp related fun and chat and a workshop tour. So please don't think of this as some kind of virtual event and that you're just sort of peering in on everything today on your phones or tablets or whatever. We're all real people in real places wherever you are and really taking part, and we very much want you to feel fully included. Plus, there are some advantages too to today. You can take part from anywhere in the country or world for that matter. No queuing up on a busy motorway to get here. Also, you can rewind and hear a favourite thing again, or perhaps you may be joining in at a later time. Yes, of course it is different this year. As you've seen, no marquee and stage, no delicious waft coming over from our usual barbecue over there, but we still have lots of goodies for you, and we do still have that little workshop tour I mentioned just now. So, as well as welcome to our open day, welcome to our lovely workshop. Originally this was a coach house and stables, but harps have been made, serviced or restored here for about 50 years. And as you can see, we are so incredibly fortunate to work away in very beautiful surroundings. So come on inside and see what we get up to. This is the room where customers can come and see and try the new harps we make, and also any second-hand instruments we have available. So it's always a collection of harps, old and new. One of the many sources of pleasure and satisfaction that we get from making harps is that we get to work with all types of wood. This one is ash. You can see a very strong featured grain. This beautiful wood is walnut. The soundboard there, you can see where the strings come through, that Sitka spruce. And we cater for everybody's different tastes, so we can do glittery finishes and coloured finishes as well as the wood finish itself. This is a beautiful wood, this one, maple. Lots of harps are made of maple. Has a lovely clean colour. This one here, this is mahogany. And all these harps here are called lever harps. They've got those little levers on the side which give you semitones and help you to change key. Pride of place in the cabinet is this plaque that commemorates the very exciting day that His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent paid us a visit. And we were so flattered not only that he wanted to come here, but also that he had taken a lot of trouble to find out about us and the workshop prior to his visit. And we were very impressed by the knowledgeable questions that he asked us. As well as making many models of new harp, we're very privileged to be able to work with some very exquisite and beautiful antique harps. This is called a Grecian Harp. And here are some of the new pedal harps that we make. They're bigger. And the mechanism here, like the levers, but far more complicated, the mechanisms here are how the harpist can add accidentals to the music and to change a key. And that's what the pedals are for, that's what they use their feet for. I love the drawers in the hallway with strings and tuning keys and all sorts of harpy things. And harps everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go in the workshop, you'll find a harp somewhere or bits of harp. And into the workshop itself, and here's the harp going through final checks, ready to put this one together. This is a 47 string extended soundboard pedal harp. That's going to be an electroacoustic harp as well, that one. We have lots of jigs and tools and patterns and all sorts of things that are utterly invaluable to us, but probably pretty useless to anybody else doing something different other than harp making. And on the right here, bodies. These will be sound boxes of the smaller lever harps, folk harps, Celtic harps, they're all the same thing. And there's some of a pedal harp and some harps in for checking over, servicing and so on. Harps are under a lot of strain and tension. Even a little harp like that has about half a ton pull on it, and every now and then it's good to give them a check over, make sure the semitones are still in tune and so on. Sound machine room, and part of what this is for is the sort of main port of call really for the wood. When it first comes in, we sort of process the wood to then make harps out of it, if you see what I mean. It's also where we hold our barbecue on open day when people can actually come and visit us. Here's a servicing and voicing of harps in here, or taking harps apart if we've got to do something a little bit more major to a harp. And the metalwork room in here. There are so many components that go into a single mechanism on a pedal harp, so everything is massively organised, and even if one thing looks identical to another, there'll be a subtle little difference, so everything has to be very organised so that each component in a mechanism goes in its correct place. Little walk around, and then we end up seeing you can see the innards here of a harp mechanism itself. There's nearly 2,000 moving parts in there, and it's more like sort of clock making type of engineering. And now we go upstairs with various patterns and jigs even stored on the walls. I think up here used to be where grain and hay and straw, things like that, were stored to keep them off ground level. And it's a beautiful place to work. Wood for a small batch of necks and pillars for lever harps and pedal boxes there. View over to the other side of the workshop, and you can see the big house, a little bit glimpse of the big house that the coach house used to serve. Harp ready to be sanded and finished. Lots more harp necks and pillars ready. We do three different models just of 34 string lever harps, and then within those we do different woods. So there's quite a lot of combinations of harps we have to cater for and think ahead to be ready to make at any one time or bring forward. These are the pedal boxes that sit at the bottom of the big concert harps. And some walnut wood and some maple wood. We actually do some harps there with a combination of the two. And then here is wood kept what we call in stick. These are knuckle blocks. This is the bit that sits on the harpist's shoulder, and we say we put the pieces of wood in stick, and literally there are little sticks that go between each piece of wood, and it just helps a bit of airflow around them. And we luthiers talk about seasoning wood, which isn't anything to do with sprinkling them with salt and pepper, but it is aging and making sure that pieces of wood like that are kept nice and stable. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tour around our workshops. Usually we have to get it extra tidy, move machines and tools out of harm's way, invariably have lots of do not touch signs everywhere. So it is nice that we could show it to you today, looking perhaps a little less formal and much more as it does day in, day out. Before we go on, I must thank especially all the harpists who have put together what I know is such an exciting and entertaining programme for us today. And also a special massive thank you to our harpist in residence, Fran Barsby, who has put in an especially huge effort to bring most of this event to you. So thank you, Fran. As I said earlier, we very much want you to feel fully included and the vital part of our day that you are. After all, it's you guys each year that always play such a big part in making these occasions so memorable. So sit back and enjoy.